I know. Something, Enrique, you find the keys coming?
Not to make one, bro.
You did?
Yeah. I don't know, I might have threw them in the garbage or something. Yeah, 169.
I cost me $240.
Yeah, and I still haven't made an extra. Every time I get on my clothes, I'm sure I'm like, anywhere, but here.
I won't go to the night.
Not if it's very, I just bought the card.
Got all that sugar built on the bottom.
Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started. Let's bring down all the side conversations. Today's continuation of our customer service training. This topic that we're going to be creating an environment of customer service excellence. You'll notice that for the next couple meetings, we're going to be really focusing on customer service. That's going to be our key point. That's what we do. That's what business we're in. We are in the customer service business. We're not really in the furniture business. What we provide is customer service. We don't sell furniture. We will sell furniture in the furniture business. So we're focusing on heightening our customer service awareness, which is why you see so many more faces other than just leads. This is to make sure that people that are interacting with our customers, these are drivers, these are up-and-coming lead drivers, these are installers, these are leads. Anyone that have a presence in front of customers need to be aware of this stuff.
All of these techniques are ways we can use to build that customer experience. Hello and welcome to Creating an Environment of Customer Service Excellence with Julie Birch. Welcome and thank you for joining me. Customer service is my passion, so I'm always excited to talk about all things customer service. I believe creating an environment of customer service excellence implies two key things. It's advanced customer service, and it's the foundation of customer service. That means to excel at advanced service, you must have the right foundation or roots in service. Also, keep in mind, when I say an environment of customer service excellence, that's a powerful statement and a more advanced way of thinking about customer service. I always like to say, this ain't your mama's customer service. Can you tell I live in Texas? Customer service has certainly evolved over the years. Customer service used to be more traditional in nature, old school, if you will. Today's customer service is more relationship service. And our goal is creating an environment, and that's exactly what we're talking about. We're not talking about customer service as an event or a singular transaction, but rather an environment that happens over time. You must be consistent and persistent every day in every way. An environment of customer service excellence starts with your team. Know this, your employees will only treat your customers as well as they believe you treat them. So is your internal customer service an environment of excellence? How do we deliver exceptional customer service internally? As a leader, I believe you create an environment for your team. The environment you create is different than your corporate culture, although it must be in line with your corporate culture. And the idea for the environment you create is that you must make the things you want them to have, be, or do normal. If you want them to be exceptional with customer service, that has to be made normal. Meaning it must be a clearly defined expectation. They must be held accountable every day and every way, and every person. You must give them the tools to be excellent at service regularly. It's about normalizing the goals. For example, feedback. Do you know when a lot of companies give feedback at their annual review, or when there's a problem, when someone messes up? That's when we have a conversation with them. You know this is true. Every one of you probably worked at that company when the boss comes in and says, "Can I see you in my office?" And the rest of the team all just reverts back to junior high and says, "Ooh, busted." For feedback to be valuable and effective, well, it needs to happen regularly. Positive feedback, constructive criticism, small things, bigger things. Make it normal. Another big example of making those desired things in our environment normal, and the one that is really relevant to our focus today, training. If you want your team to be exceptional, to continue to grow and get better, training must be normal. This is another one that, well, a lot of organizations just get wrong. You know when they do training? When there's a problem. Oh no, our customer service satisfaction surveys are down. Better do a class. What are we teaching our team about training? That is punishment. If we want an environment of excellence, then they have to see training as normal. An environment of excellence happens through constant growth. How are you helping them grow? Are you giving them ongoing opportunities to improve their skills, and not just when they have a customer complaint? My favorite example of creating an environment for your team in the context of customer service excellence goes to motivation. For your team to provide for your customers an environment of service excellence, bottom line, they must be motivated to do so. They must be motivated to live that mission. I wish I had $1 for every time a seminar participant asks me how to motivate their team. Now, I subscribe to the school of thought that we really do not motivate others. We create an environment that is conducive to self-motivation. Now, you can use carrots and sticks to motivate people to take a specific action, meaning reward or punishment to do a specific thing. You can say, if you come in late to work, you will get written up. That's a stick. Or you could say, if you come in on time every day for 3 months, you get a pizza party. Whatever. That's a carrot or a reward. What I find more people are really talking about is how can I get my team to just be motivated to be here, to be grateful they have a stinking job. And that's not about carrots and sticks. That's about feeling valued. Every single person, whether they admit it or not, has a need to feel valued. They have to believe that what they do matters. Every one of your employees must feel like they are valued if you expect them to show your customers they are valued. That's the foundation of how we, as the title of this presentation states, create an environment of customer service excellence. If you want your customers to believe the service is excellent, well, they too must feel valued.
Anyone want to talk about that topic? So I take it everyone in this room feels valued? Now's your guys' chance to talk.
Hello, and welcome to Create.
Edwin.
I think that's super important, and the main point of what we do in feeling valued is because all our work is valued. What we build represents what we do. You know, that shows the customer who we are. You know, and I find that super important. That even if you don't see it, the value of your work actually sells our company on top of customer service.
And there's a lot of truth to this. If we make you feel unimportant, how is your demeanor? How is your body language? How is your behavior? You know, and one of the things that we recognize as a company is we need to treat you guys better. We need to make you guys more aware. We need to make you guys feel more appreciated. And that's not something we do a lot. And to be honest, I mean, you guys are all quiet in here. Is this is an opportunity to speak, but 9 times out of 10, you guys are hearing what you did wrong and not what you did right. Am I wrong?
100%
We recognize it, so rather than come to me, we like to hear you guys speak upon that. You know, what do you guys think about this? Is this just another video, or is there truth to this? Are you guys paying attention to this? You know, this is to help better everyone. There's a reason why I'm in this meeting too. There's a reason why Steve is here. There's a reason why Joel Archer's on the phone. There's a reason why Brian's in here, because we too need to work on this. We're doing this as a team. Like I said in the beginning of this, we're recognizing this, and this is because this isn't just one employee. We need to do this for all employees. How often do we not recognize our regular installers? And when I say regular installers, the guys that don't have the responsibility of talking to customers. None of us can get a job done without it. I don't care how good we are, we can't get a job done without those other guys. Am I wrong?
Yep.
We need to make everyone feel appreciated. And often we look over those people, and we need to change. I'm working on changing myself, and we're trying to bring this to your guys' awareness. Brian.
You know, it's kind of interesting because Juan said something the other day when I saw him, and he talked about exactly that, and how he couldn't have got the job done without the guys that he had. So I thought that was pretty important that he was number one willing to talk about it, but also he was willing to give credit to his crew opposed to him, which I think was pretty important when he said that.
This means that we must always look to exceed the expectations of our customers. And this requires us to get in the mindset of your customers and learn, what do they really expect? Understanding customers' perceptions and expectations is only required if your goal is customer service excellence. I hope that means you. It does start with perceptions. Isn't it true that we can all see the same event and see it very differently? Sure it is. What we want to remember for excellence in service is what the customer perceives is what is real. Remember, the perceived service quality is the difference between what the customer expects and what he actually gets. That means the customer's perception of the quality of service is the difference between what they thought they would get when they came in to do business with you and what they actually received while they were there. This means we must understand the customer's expectations for doing business with us so that we can exceed it. Now, it sounds a little crazy if you think about it. It sounds a lot like mind reading to me. And how are we supposed to do that? Well, technically we can't, but we can certainly understand and manage where these expectations commonly come from. And there are 4 key areas where customers tend to get those expectations. We learn to pay attention to these and manage them effectively, and we have the power to exceed them. Remember, there are 4 key areas. The first one is advertising. What is your advertising saying about you? If you have commercials or billboards that say, customers are our #1 priority, guess what they will expect? If your advertising says you're easy to work with, guess what they will expect? And remember, advertising happens in a lot of ways, not just traditionally in commercials or billboards. What about your website? What does your website say about you? Do you have some wonderful and amazing promises to your customers on your website? Because rest assured, your customers are looking at them. And if that is the promise made, you better deliver, or that perceived service quality will go down. You need to know what your company is promising. And let's face it, it is possible that your marketing department is not checking with you before making these fabulous promises public. It's not like they're calling the customer service department and saying, so, we're going to promise our customers that 15 minutes will save them 15% on car insurance. Is that cool with you? Can you do that? They just made that promise, and, well, it's up to you to make it happen. Know what your advertising is promising.
I'm going to press pause right there. Who's been on our website in the last 2 months. Who's been on our website in the last 6 months? And who's been on our website in the last year? Who has not seen our website? It's a lot more hands. It's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being honest. So we do have a website, and we should be aware of this. In fact, 4 months ago, 3 months ago, it went live with the revision. So roughly about 4 months ago, our company just took this to heart and made a complete revamp, updated a lot of information, because our website, it's funny is, I asked how many people that I interviewed, and almost 100% of people I interviewed tell me before they came to the meeting, they viewed our website. Determined whether it was even a place they wanted to even be interviewed at. You know, today's market's changing. You know, the new generation, everything's online, and it's important. You know, we advertise. I encourage you guys to go onto the website. If you got constructive criticism, let us know. If there's something wrong on there, let us know. If there's something you like, let us know. We actually have on our website, you can apply for an application for employment directly. You can get a quote directly from our website now. So you can go on there, request services, and get a quote. I mean, these are things that other companies were doing. Brian, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I wanted to ask the guys to know what's our bigger budget advertising in this company?
Us. The trucks.
That's one.
Trucks.
What'd you say, Victor?
Us.
There it is, right there, that's the biggest one right there. I sometimes call it branding, but it's really advertising. You guys are the advertisers. What you guys wear, how you guys wear it, that's the bigger advertising. We found with a lot of our customers over the years, not all of them, but a lot care about how you guys look, especially when you guys are in the office environment. When you guys are working with women, when you guys are working with professionals, when you guys are working with the executives. And that's why we put the time into the hats, jackets, the shirts, asking you wear the black pant, black pants, et cetera. That's part of the advertising part that we do. And you guys get a lot of compliments when you guys look the same. We used to get compliments on when all you guys used to wear the safety vest. Every single one of you guys looked the same. You guys look like a team out there, opposed to a ragtag, a bunch of thugs that we used to get complaints about. This is about 10, 15 years ago. Andrew used to come in every once in a while, and he would take pictures of a crew, and he would ask, you know, people, what do you think of this crew? What do you think of this crew? We did a very informal survey, and it was pretty profound. So that's why we put a ton of money into the shirts, into the hats, and et cetera, ask you to wear it the right side, don't wear it like you're at the club. That's why we ask to have your shirt tucked in, because that's part of our advertising of you guys looking professionals we know you guys are. Big part of it.
The second key area where those expectations are coming from is your company's reputation. Don't companies have reputations? They sure do. Think of some of the companies that are known for their good reputations. Zappos, for example, or one of my favorites, Southwest Airlines. They have a very distinct and powerful reputation. What are they known for? Low fares, peanuts, fun. Yep, they are the fun, relaxed airline. They are known for the jokes on the PA system when they do their announcements. Oh, sure, they may be nice, and they'll give you that simply delicious bag of 3 peanuts, and they will do it all in a pair of shorts while they call us like cattle, and we are totally fine with it. We even get happy about it. You know how excited we get when we see them coming down the aisle with that bag of peanuts. Woo, here come the peanuts. It may only have 5 peanuts in it, but we will eat it like it's prime rib after a 30-day fast, because that's their reputation. Basically, we will be herded like cattle, crammed into a tiny seat, and pay for a tiny drink. No problem. But if we don't get a joke on the PA system and 5 stale peanuts in a bag, we were robbed, because that is their reputation. They have set that expectation. The third area where customers' expectations can come from is
Reputation. Does anyone know what our current reputation is right now? If you have an idea, just shoot it out. inquiry?
On our website, it's positive.
So on our website, it's positive, what does it mean? Not, on our website, it's not positive?
No, on our website, it is positive, that's what he's saying.
From competitors, I heard it's unorganized. From different guys at different companies.
I hear, especially, recently, where I heard that recently. I heard we're just subcontractors. That's what I heard.
So that again.
Well, you know, there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna have opinions. Some are gonna be positive, some are gonna be negative. It is important to know what your customers feel, okay? And I'll tell you from KBM, one of our largest dealerships right now, KBM thinks we're change order happy. Our reputation is, before we even start the job, we're filling out the change order. But KB, here's our largest dealership actively right now, that's giving us work, telling us, we're second guessing giving you work because, you know, the first thing out of your customer or your employee's mouth is a change order. This is something we have to be mindful, we have to walk on eggshells. If there's additional scope, we gotta build additional scope, right? But it's how we present it, it's how we deliver it. We're working very hard on, changing that reputation, which is why, you know, we're always saying, hey, if you got one, call us first, let us kind of talk to them, let us massage it, because they're very sensitive.
That's what I started doing, instead of just hitting them right away. This is an obvious change order, like what I did on this last one. I sent an email to Andrew first, you know, and basically talked about it, you know.
And that's what we gotta do sometimes.
And then come to find out that table, that Arcadia table, was totally on a different quote. And it was just, it got sent with this stuff, but I mean, I was going through my things, so on my end, it looked like it was at work, like being quoted. But, come to find out, you know, the next day that it was on another, it was a punch out from the previous install.
BCO thinks we're average employees. That's the truth. BCO thinks we're no different than anyone else, but we're more expensive. So why would you pay more for the same? You know? So we have multiple dealerships that we work with. It's a good idea for you to understand what you're walking into, and you should ask, hey, I'm going to this customer, is there anything I should know about this customer? I'm gonna go do this job for Oliver. If you guys are working on a KTM job and you're working for Oliver, what should you expect? Gotcha, what should you expect if you work for Oliver?
So sometimes we misunderstand the job we did extra is change order. The last job I did to him is a couple of things I need to doing, and I'm sorry, you know what? I can't do any change order, so you guys need to make a deal with Andrew and before I'm starting. So because I don't feel good if I create a change order, you'll be mad. It's not my deal with you. My deal
Sensitive
is
to them, huh?
make you happy.
Yeah.
So give me more job.
He's the customer that's been in this business for a while. Is he perfect? By far, no. But they pay for a service, right? And when they pay for a service, you want, I don't care if you paid $1, you want that to be the best dollar you've ever spent, right? So we need to be helping each other too. If you see that I've been working with Jason Lyon all week and I know how he's doing, and tomorrow Marcus is doing a job for him, I should pick up the phone and say, hey Marcus, this is what kind of person Jason is. Be aware of this, be aware of that. You know, we need to build our reputation, and the only way we can build our reputation is by knocking the socks off our customers. Well, you can only do that. Well, you can't only do that, but it helps if you know your customers. Okay, we have to change our customers' reputation of us to being that we are the best service provider, that they only want to do business with us. Right.
This goes back to when you were asking the guys about reputation. I think it's pretty important that someone said something, which was, I think, Anastasio, the other day to customer service, And, do you remember that comment you made?
halfway through the workout.
Anastasia? About how we could still be making these kind of mistakes and we've been in business over 30 years?
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty profound comment and pretty important comment that we need to be taking a look at when it comes to our reputation, because there's a lot of truth in what he said.
Previous experience. This means whatever happened to them the last time they called your company and did business with you. And this can be tricky because this means exceptional customer service has to be a company-wide endeavor. It shouldn't be just one or two of your team that's exceptional. It must be every single team member. Think about why that is. For example, let's say you call in to do business with a company and you get taken care of by, let's call her Superstar. And Superstar is amazing. She knows what you need before you know what you need. She answers your questions before you even ask them. She is fantastic. Thank you so much, Superstar. You're the best. I love you. And you hang up the phone thinking, wow, that was amazing. The service was so good that you have to call back the next day, and you say, is Superstar working today? And they say, no, so sorry, Superstar's off today. But don't worry, we have Not Too Bad over here to take care of you. Think about how that affects your perception of service. Now, the opposite of this can also be true, of course. If I have a terrible experience with someone and I have to call back, what am I expecting? For it to be terrible. So the whole time I'm calling, I'm having that conversation with myself, aren't I? Telling myself, they better not tell me that again. I hope I don't have to talk to him again. I won't let that happen next time because I will tell him. We're ready for an argument. So when they answer the phone, we already have an attitude and are difficult. Have you ever innocently picked up the phone and the customer's already yelling at you? You haven't even had a chance to charm them with your skills yet. Maybe, just maybe, that's because the last time they called, they talked to your coworker Not Too Bad. Exceptional customer service is consistent customer service. It must be the standard of the whole team, not just one or two superstars. Now, as a side note, because I'm sure at least one of you are thinking about this right now, what if you work with a Not Too Bad? How do you fix them? Well, unless you're the leader, you really don't. You can encourage, ask for team training, and offer help. But remember, you can't always fix other people. But you still have to be a superstar. Don't become them. Always hold out hope that they will see your success and follow your lead. Remember to model the behavior you expect in others. Always. The last key area where customers are getting these perceptions and expectations is your competitor service. Yep, I said your competitor, especially in today's fast-paced, social media-loving lifestyle. Let's face it, word spreads pretty fast these days. So your customers are looking at what the competition is doing, and they're expecting the same thing from you. This is actually where a lot of customer service extras started, and have now become the norm. For example, one of my favorites, some of you are old enough with me to remember before Domino's Pizza. Remember that? Back then, when you wanted a pizza, you went out for pizza, just like you'd go out for anything else. Some of the younger generation are cardiac arrest right now. No Domino's? Seriously? Yes, seriously. There was no delivery. You went out for it. Then Domino's stormed on the scene. And what did they advertise? Delivery. And back then, it was 30 minutes or less, or it was free. Remember that? And we would hope to be late. We'd be waiting at the door. 1 more minute, come on. That started a whole new expectation. We started calling Pizza Hut, saying, bring me a pizza. We never saying, bring you a pizza. You come to us. That's what the Hut's for. They didn't know what we were talking about. But now, how many pizza places deliver? Pretty much all of them. The competitor service made it a requirement. Think about the free shampoo at hotels. Someone started that. There was a time when that was a really cool extra. You'd be like, ooh, honey, look, free shampoo. Now we expect it. If you went to a hotel and there was no free shampoo, you'd be shocked. This also helps us to see that today's extras are tomorrow's expectation. So we must constantly be looking for new ways to wow and surprise our customers. So, if we understand these are the key places customers are getting their expectations, then how do we manage them? Well, you have to look for ways to see your business through your customers' eyes. constantly be looking at ways to see your business the way your customers see your business. There's a great old story about a CEO of a hospital in St. Louis, Missouri that used to have himself wheeled around the hospital on a gurney so he could see the hospital the way his customers saw his hospital. Be the customer for a change. Continue to ask yourself, would you do business with you?
It's a great question right there.
By continually challenging yourself to see your business the way your customers see your business, you will also discover what customer service excellence really means for you, and more importantly, for your customer. When I talk about customer service evolving, this is one of the key changes we've seen over the years. It used to be the standard that customer service was defined by the leadership of the organization. It was a top-down business model, meaning bigwigs somewhere way up the chain of command decided what excellent customer service would look like in their company, and that became the standard. They said this was good, and we all followed along. Well, we're in a very different place in today's service market. Instead of top-down, we are customer-driven. That means that our customers are now deciding what excellent service is, and companies are listening. Starbucks has a fun example of this for years, since 1986 as a matter of fact. They have served up the eggnog latte at holiday time. Oh, I do so love an eggnog latte. But they discontinued it this year. But after a customer revolt of sorts through email, phone calls, and social media, guess what? It is back. They responded to the customer's definition of excellence. Linda Mills, a Starbucks spokesperson, actually said they made a mistake and they were very sorry. Wow, that is a company responding to the customer's definition of excellence. And this isn't the first time Starbucks has stepped up and listened to their customers. Last spring, after the company started selling some of its...
I'm gonna press pause right there. And we sent an email out, but I want to recognize a lot of people in this room. You know, we had a response. We had a schedule to do for a project called Wave. We were on task, we were on schedule. The end user got ahead of the customer and scheduled the movers a day early. We were still scheduled to go back on Monday and finish the job, and our customer reacted on a Saturday and said, can you get a crew here tomorrow? And we reacted. We got dispatch 16, I believe we had 14 people show up, and then we had an additional walk-in. Gene also attended to 15 people there on a Sunday that wasn't on the books. That's the reaction to responding to a customer. That's the delivering customer excellence. And I can tell you that Jason Lyon, who is the head of the project management team, was extremely thankful for all that you guys did in responding that way and getting there to take care of a job. He knows we didn't drop the ball. He knows we weren't behind, but the customer was Dave moved all over the place. We responded, we reacted, we got the job taken care of, and KBM is wowed by that. That's the customer service excellence that keeps us winning business. It's when we tell them, oh, we're not scheduled to come back tomorrow, you know, that's not what we want to say. I can't do the scheduling, but let me call my office and let me see what we can do. You know, that's how we respond to our customers, because, and don't overcommit. Don't say, don't worry, we're gonna be here tomorrow, we'll take care of it, because you don't have that authority also, or that ability. But you guys reacted, you guys delivered 5-star customer service, and I can tell you, I appreciate that, Station appreciates that, and I've heard it personally that our customer appreciates it. Brian.
I just wanted to add to that. That wasn't, by the way, an initiative pushed by management. That was actually an initiative that was pushed by a lead. And from my understanding, Jeff Papps is the one who pushed that to make sure that happened, talking with the guys, seeing who could show up, getting all that done. So you guys need to understand there's a lot of power in your guys' influence and what you guys can do when it comes to customer excellence. And here's a case in point again, Jeff Papps, pulling together the crew, talking to Joel, getting it on the books, getting it taken care of, and getting it done. And now you have Jason Lyon showing up at 9:30 a.m. Sunday morning. He was shocked how many people were there, and he was very, very appreciative. I think even when we were having a small speech in the morning, he told the guys that are all there, how much you appreciate everyone showing up and the hard work. We want to make sure you guys all knew that they were there, and I think when things are said like that from a customer, that's pretty important, that's pretty powerful stuff.
That's changing the reputation that we have with KPM. You know, we wanna change from being the change order happy company to the we'll take care of you company. Thank you, guys.
I will have to say that Jason was standing next to me Saturday and he said, good luck. Getting volunteers. He then told me that he called Andrew and got his voicemail. Enrique, Gene, Edwin, Anthony, Jeff Lastada, Nathan, Ralph, and Juan, and Javier. All the guys that are in this room that showed up. Said they would be there and they showed up. So, thanks to you guys.
Give yourself a round of applause.
I could have told Jason a bunch of bullshit, but you guys made it happen.
Let's not forget Baker showed up to let us get the trucks.
That's right.
Awesome.
Mini loaves instead of the traditional slices, customers complained, so they quickly went back to the slices. How are you responding to your customers' definition of excellence? So how do we know how our customers define exceptional? Well, there are lots of ways, of course. Start by asking them. Ask when you talk to them. Ask in surveys. Ask in follow-up emails. And pay attention to the signs when they're there and they're engaged with you. Whether it's in person or on the phone or even email, what gets them excited? What do they respond positively to? And what gets a mediocre response or no response at all? I can tell you as a speaker, there are times when I have a joke or an exercise that I think is just fantastic. I think it's really funny or very effective, but when I use it with an audience, it just falls flat. Now, that doesn't happen very often. Really? Well, okay, maybe. Anyway, I can't be married to ideas that I like. I have to focus on ideas they like. What are the things you or your company are doing that aren't really getting the response you're looking for? Maybe it's time to tweak it. Think about it like this, based on your niche area, meaning why do customers do business with you and not your competitors? What's your specialty? Are you focusing in on that? You have to have a laser focus on your core purpose. One of my favorite books is by Joe Calloway. The title is Being the Best at What Matters Most. And he's brilliant. Sometimes we get caught up in the fluff, the extras and the wow, when we need to be staying true to our values and what got us in the game. We can and should always grow and improve, of course, and business models have to evolve to stay relevant, but sometimes we get so wrapped up in the over-the-top wowing that we lose sight of why our customers love us to begin with. What's your strategic value proposition? What do you offer that is your key results area? And are you maximizing that? Joe Calloway talks about how the companies that are out there that are really setting the standard for excellence in the customer service eyes are the ones doing the detail stuff every day. Consistently excellent. Zappos is consistent. They have good products, great service, and free returns. You know what you're going to get, and you get it every time. They aren't giving away the store, having fancy sweepstakes, or giving away free extras. They're focused on their business model, and they deliver consistently. As customers, we want to get what we expect. That's how we define exceptional, and that's creating a customer service experience. I think it's in the details. It's doing the work every day, day in and day out. Have you ever fallen for the flash of a new company, only to find they really didn't live up to your definition of exceptional? My husband and I go to the best sushi restaurant in our little community. It really is great. It's not a fancy place. It's not the hip spot, but man, it's the best sushi around. There have been other sushi bars to come to my town, and they come in on a wave of advertising glory. The ads, the promos, the coupons, only to have us try them and be disappointed. We always go back to the place we can count on. Be the company your customers can count on. I think the way to do this is to think of yourself as a puppet master. You are managing the customer's experience from start to finish. They think they're in control, but you are pulling the strings and leading them through a carefully crafted experience where every detail is paid attention to. Disney's a great example of managing the customer's experience. Their attention to detail is beyond compare. If you've ever been to Disneyland or Disney World, you know what I'm talking about. Even standing in line, you don't even realize you're standing in line. Every single detail is managed. It's not an amusement park, it's an experience. So what are the details we're talking about? Well, they can be a million different things. Sometimes they're the things that if they're there, the customer notices and says, wow, nice extra. If you stay in a hotel and there's a chocolate on your pillow, it's a nice touch. It's like a bonus. Then there are the details that are a success if they don't notice them, meaning they will only notice if it's a problem. I'll bet you that none of you have ever walked into that hotel room, walked into the bathroom and said, oh my gosh, honey, get in here, look at this. They have towels just hanging here for us to use. Towels, can you believe it? No, we sure would notice if those towels were not there. With understanding how our customers define excellence, that attention to detail also means those moments of truth that happen with customers. Jan Carlson of SAS Airlines is credited with popularizing the term in customer service, and it basically means every time a customer has contact with you or your organization, it's a moment of truth. Because in that moment, a customer's making impressions, assumptions, and judgments about you. Remember, manage the customer's experience from start to finish. Well, this is an area where it can happen. If we understand those moments of truth and we excel at them, we are the puppet master. Some of you may be familiar with the 7-Eleven rule. It's a great old standby that challenges us to pay attention to the details on every moment of truth with our customers. The idea is in 7 seconds of contact, the customer will form 11 impressions about you and your organization. That seems crazy, but we tend to see things in big picture, so we can see lots of things. You may hear slightly different versions of this concept. There are some pretty common ones. Things like clean and attractive. Now, this, of course, means the people and the facility. And remember, you must be both. Because it is true, you can be clean and not attractive. Or you can be attractive and not clean. I always look at it like this. If I walk into your lobby or waiting area and there's a picture on the wall and it has dust and fingerprints all over it, that's not clean. On the other hand, if it's perfectly dusted and fingerprint free but has a big old crack in the glass, that's not attractive. We must be both. The other impressions can be things like friendly, helpful, courteous. Sounds reasonable, right? You must also be knowledgeable. You really do have to know your stuff. You must be kind and positive. Also things like empathetic when a customer has an issue, and confident, credible, and above all, professional, even when the customer is not. Now keep in mind our goal here. An environment of customer service excellence means we are the puppet master. We're controlling the experience from start to finish. That's what defines excellence. So we understand all these impressions because these are the details that we want to manage. Now, a customer will probably not walk into your place of business and say, okay, friendly, check, knowledgeable, check. It's more big picture. All these details combine and the customer gets a feeling about you. And with that feeling comes a decision. And really, customers make a decision about you pretty quickly. They either like you, they dislike you, or they are indifferent to you. Now, of course, those first impressions can change over time. If we mess up and don't put our best face on in the first interaction, hopefully they'll give us a chance to turn them around. But we really don't want to start in the red. And of course, the opposite is true too. You can wow them with your smile and your greeting, but if the service is bad from there, they'll get over that smile pretty quickly. Remember, manage the experience from start to finish. When we focus on the details, the impressions, we're actually focusing on how to make customers feel valued. And to build on that, we need some tips for how to turn those one-time buyers into lifetime customers. Too many organizations make exactly that mistake. They focus too much on the single transaction while giving no real thought to the lifetime value of a customer. Customers are more than a single transaction. Now, I love Starbucks. I'm a big fan. People ask me all the time, where do you get your energy? And I tell them, Starbucks. They sell it. Now, I did have a bad experience once in a Starbucks. I know, I was devastated. But I actually had a Starbucks employee tell me that they were a huge company and that they didn't need my $4 coffee sale anyway. Now, a single $4 sale, Starbucks probably could live without. But was it just a $4 sale? What if it was a $4 sale, say, twice a day, that's it, day, or 3 to 4 times a week, or business meetings with clients? That's the lifetime value of a customer. So sometimes we give a little to get a lot. When we focus on a single transaction, we're not making customers feel valued, and they become what we call a non-repeat customer. That means a customer that does business with you once and chooses to not come back. So why do customers become non-repeat? Well, believe it or not, there are some basic numbers that we see. These have been around for a while and are really consistent. So why non-repeat? Well, 1% of customers that do business with you once do not come back, do so because, well, they die. It's sad, but it happens. 3% because they move, maybe you're no longer convenient. 5% because of friendship. And this is a big tip. Customers want to do business with people they have built a business friendship with. Hence, feeling valued and etc. That's the idea. 9% leave out of competition.
I want to pause right there and kind of talk about really quick. They're making mention about friendship. There's a lot of truth to that. Customers want to build a friendship and they want to build a relationship with you. It's a double-edged sword. You have to be very cautious because although you build a friendship